Ali, would you elaborate on the guiding principles that frame and inform the strategic vision you've outlined to improve operations and outcomes for your agency in the 21st century?
Michael, I shaped the guiding principles based upon my communications with the workforce when I first arrived and with the communities that we serve through speaking with them in public forum. And let me articulate them. I think one we've touched upon already, and so I'll mention it first, and that is consistency. Our workforce deserves consistency, and the communities that we serve deserve consistency, and that is something that we need to achieve. And it is not necessarily our greatest strength currently, but we are certainly devoted to achieving it. Efficiency is a second principle, and I identify them, Michael, in no particular order. But efficiency is something that is incumbent upon us as a public service agency. We have customers, and therefore it is customer service. But there's also another principle at issue, why it is so important that we be efficient, because we spend customers' money, and we therefore have to be very careful in how we spend our money. And let me, if I can, share with you an anecdote that I have shared with colleagues within the agency and at times with members of the public that has really been very influential in my care for the dollars that we spend. I remember visiting my great aunt and uncle in Brooklyn when they were quite elderly, and they came with us from Cuba to the United States. And I remember being served a sandwich wrapped in wax paper. I'm not sure whether sandwiches are any longer wrapped in wax paper, but be that as it may, I remember enjoying the sandwich and afterwards crumpling up the wax paper and being prepared to throw it away. And my great aunt took the piece of wax paper, looked at me with tremendous disdain, and took that piece of wax paper and unfolded it and tried to the best of her ability to uncrease it. And what I saw was a carefully cut square of wax paper, which my great aunt then took and placed on top of a stack of wax paper squares on top of the refrigerator. Because she was a former seamstress. Her husband, my great uncle, was a former machinist, and they relied on their pension from their union work for their living. And it is the nickel that was saved through that wax paper square that is the nickel that we spend as an agency, because my great aunt and uncle were immigrants, as was I and my family. And so that image is very emblazoned on my mind in terms of our cost sensitivity as an agency, and efficiency serves cost sensitivities. Integrity is, of course, another core value, another core guiding principle. It is not only the integrity of our immigration system, in other words, protecting the integrity of the system from those who seek to exploit it, because I think those exploitative efforts injure those innocently coming before us seeking benefits for which they are eligible. But it also speaks, of course, to the integrity of our workforce. We are guardians of the public trust, and therefore integrity is of critical importance. And the fourth is transparency. The President has articulated a vision from the moment he's set foot in office of open government. And we serve the public, and we have to be held accountable to the public. And to that end, we have to be transparent in the information that we provide and in how we conduct our business and why.